Picture this, you are 20, living away from your home for the first time, staring at a kitchen that suddenly feels so foreign without your mom's guidance. And 70% of Gen Z say that they have total control of what they have for snacks, but we've only mastered the art of 2 a.m. Maggies and often struggle with making even a simple dal. We can debate about the protein content of a quinoa versus a rice, but can't remember the last time we ate without scrolling on our phones. Welcome to Shastra Echoes Beyond the Known, the podcast that dwells into the intersection of tradition and modern understanding. I'm your host Akshit, and today we are exploring the most fundamental aspects of human existence, that is nutrition. Our guest today is Ms. Jinal Shah, a senior nutritionist who has been working with renowned nutritionist Rojita Devekar for a decade now. And she's not just a practitioner, but also a thought leader who has delivered multiple TEDx lectures. We are glad to have you here with us, ma'am, today.
Thank you so much, Akshat. Thank you.
So, ma'am, before we start with the main topics of discussion for today, we would like to know more about your journey as a nutritionist and about your work with Ms. Rajata Devekar.
Sure. Firstly, thank you so much. It's a huge honor for me to be at Shastra Echoes. I think IIT Madras is the best in India. So I'm very, very honored and very grateful for this opportunity. About
My
my
pleasure, ma'am.
journeys, thank you. So about my journey, well, I graduated from SNDT University with a master's in clinical nutrition in 2012. And I'll be very honest, Akshat, like most of us in, except for IITians, but most of us in college feel like, pata nahi hum log kya karne wale after college. So I constantly felt like I don't know how I'm going to do this in real life because I found everything that I was learning very impractical and unsustainable. तो मुझे नहीं पता था कि मैं लाइफ में क्या करूंगी, but there came an opportunity of an on-campus interview, with Rujita Devekar, and I had read her book, her first book, Don't Lose Your Mind, Lose Your Weight. So yes, so I jumped in and I was like, I want to go to interview. So then I came here for an interview. I got selected. I was very lucky. And since 2012 until now, this is my 14th year, and this is where I am. And in my first 6 months only, I figured that all the confusion that I had, कि मैं क्या करूँगी life में, everything was answered because there's no one like her. She's my university. She's my guru. She has really helped me understand nutrition and not just nutrition, but understand life. And I think it has really allowed me to grow a lot professionally and personally. So this is where I am.
That's so magical, ma'am. 14 years is a long tenure.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, it is long, but it feels, as you keep going 1 year ahead, you feel like you know lesser and lesser. So it's a wonderful journey. Yes, it's never ending.
Definitely, ma'am. So, I recently listened to one of your TEDx talks where you drew this fascinating comparison between choosing a kiwi and a banana. So, you mentioned
Right.
that most of the Gen Z would instinctively reach out for a kiwi because it has this perception of being more cooler, more exotic, and somehow better than the humble banana. And honestly,
Absolutely.
before watching one of your talks, I would have made the same choice. Now, this really made me reflect on this significant shift that is happening in our food culture. Now, how do you view this shift in the food culture, first of all, and what role do you think that marketing plays in the shift? Because I believe that marketing is making the generation believe that foreign ingredients are somehow cooler than the ingredients grown in our backyards.
Right, right. You're absolutely right about that. And it is very unfortunate. See, developing nations like India, especially, we're going through this phenomenon called as nutrition transition, where we're giving up on eating our diverse methods of food, of eating food, and trying to eat in a more uniform manner. So everybody is going to give up on eating their poha, upma, idli, dosa, and all of that, and everybody will eat cereal and milk for breakfast. Sab log banana, mango, apna local fruit chhod ke everybody is going to eat the ones that are getting marketed like kiwi and passion fruit and dragon fruit and things that sound very fancy. So this is a bit of a dangerous thing, and we do need youth like you to patronize more local produce so that when you eat it, then it's going to be cool for the rest of India as well. But I'll tell you a very interesting thing. One of the things that has happened is that we have started to believe that English is the only language of science. Of course, it's a language that just allows us to communicate more easily. But when it comes to food, it's not the only language of science. In fact, in 2019, the United Nations had declared the year as the year of indigenous languages. मतलब they were trying to say that we should preserve our native languages क्योंकि जो हमारे native और indigenous language है उसमें ही सारे um, all of our secrets for food, all of our secrets for health and fitness, everything is hidden in language. And that is exactly what is happening. We feel like अगर कोई चीज अपने ही धरती पे उग रही है या कोई देसी उसका नाम है या it is desi to eat, so we don't find it cool enough. But if it has a name in English, the other problem is if it's marketed, if it's packaged, if it's processed, so we feel like, oh, it's the cool thing to eat. But the dietary guidelines for Americans, which is they give guidelines for every 5 years. So if you see their entire USDA ने जो present किया है guidelines for Americans, that says that you must eat food that belongs to your personal preference, to your cultural heritage, and your budgetary constraints. मतलब क्या, ईट लोकल सीजनल एंड ट्रेडिशनल फूड, जो हमारी दादी नानी कहती आई थी, पर वो खाली अपनी मातृभाषा में कहती थी, प्यार की भाषा में कहती थी. बट नाउ दिस इज देयर इन इंग्लिश, तो वी फील लाइक अच्छा नाउ you should eat what grows around you and you should eat the food that you have always grown up eating. Now that is getting a cool name. So look at what's happening with turmeric latte, for example. Now haldi wala doodh has got an English name, so we feel like, oh, it's cool, it's the right thing to eat. और घी has got an English name, it's called clarified butter. So हमको लगता है अरे वाह, घी तो बहुत important है. But our dadis and nanis were way ahead of their time. So our Indian food, it is rather future proof and it's fool proof also. So we have to wait for the rest of the world to catch up. हम already काफी आगे हैं. So don't fall for marketing. Our farmers don't have the budgets to market, position, price, package our produce. The food industry has a lot of budgets, and the food industry cares more about private profits, not as much about public health. So ये public तो smart है, ये public सब जानती है. So we have to be smart enough, and the young has to eat more local, seasonal, traditional. So the rest of the people will follow.
So eat local and think global. I guess that's the motto.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely.
And ma'am, that reminds me of one of these brilliant criterias that you mentioned in one of your talks of whether a food item is healthy for you to consume or not. All I could recall is some grandmother's test, if I'm not wrong.
Yes. Yes.
Honestly, these tests just changed my perspective towards viewing foreign goods. And I would like you to explain that to our audience as well, because they might not be aware of it.
Sure, sure. So what we do is, because there's so much food noise and so much confusion about food, we try to bring about 3 tests that you can put your food through to understand कि आपके लिए सही है कि नहीं, whether this is good for you to eat or not. So the first test is the grandmother's test. So what we say is that, see, if there is a food that you're confused about whether I should eat this or not, you should think about that, does my grandmother recognize this as food? That's one. And the second part is that, has she eaten this when she was growing up? Because in today's day and age, your grandmother may recognize oats, for example, as food, or quinoa, for example, as food, because abhi wads to aate hi hai. But has she eaten it when she was growing up? No. But what do you think about poha? She's definitely recognized this as food, and she has eaten it when she was growing up. So that passes the test. So that is the grandmother test. The second test, is the local name test. Local name test matlab every food has a name in a local language as well, besides just having a name in English. Okay. So for example, say pumpkin. Okay. Pumpkin को हम कद्दू कहते हैं, pumpkin को महाराष्ट्र में भोपला कहते हैं. Every region has its own name for these native vegetables. But you look at a broccoli. Do you have a name other than broccoli for broccoli? No, it only has a name in English, correct? Yeah. So that kind of fails the test. Okay. So the local name test is important कि आपकी भाषा में उसका नाम होना चाहिए. And the third test is the versatility test. Versatility test is the ability of a food to be converted into many different things. So you see in our culture, rice, for example, हम लोग rice की क्या क्या चीजें बनाते हैं. You know, we make biryani, we make pulao, we make kheer, we make rice ka aate ki bhakri. We make various things out of rice. Now, not just do we use rice in food, but we also use rice in festivals, in therapeutic ways. You know, when you're sick, you want to eat a khichdi. When there is abhi just Shraddh went, so we would make kheer, you know, for our ancestors. When you do, हम टीका भी लगाते तो उसके ऊपर हम चावल लगाते. So you know,
Yeah.
rice has a representation not just in food but even in festivals and even in celebrations and rituals. But now you compare this to maybe a quinoa only. Do you know many things that can be made out of that?
No,
No.
I don't.
Exactly, right? And is there any cultural representation of that? हमारे culture में उसका कुछ भी
No, it doesn't.
representation है.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it fails the test. So versatility is important. So if your food passes through the grandmother's test, through the local name test, and through the versatility test, then it is good for you to eat. Okay. But I just want to give you a small warning here because every time when we say these three tests and we say local, seasonal, traditional, तो अभी क्या हो गया है कि you are getting things like ragi chips, you are getting things like turmeric, you know, के shots and stuff like that. So traditional तो खाना है, पर उसके traditional form में भी खाना है. Just because now the West has recognized that haldi is good and it has a name in English, turmeric, doesn't mean that उसको किसी चीज में भी डाल दो और उसको बेचो तो it becomes good. It's good for you only when it is coming in its time tested combination. तो जब हम हमारे तड़के में हल्दी डालते हैं या दूध में हल्दी डालते हैं तो वो बॉडी में पचता है. Then you get the benefits out of it. Okay. So grandmother's test, local name test, versatility test, all will come even in the category of local, seasonal, traditional. Will help you to identify whether what you're eating is right for you or not.
Sure, ma'am. Ma'am, I have this funny question for the grandmother's test. Let's say that our grandmothers mostly know what a samosa is and they've probably eaten it too. But does that mean that a samosa is good for our health?
Well, samosas are great for our health, you
Actually,
know. Yeah, they're great for our health. But everything has a time when you will eat it. Everything almost has like a frequency. कि कितनी बार आप खाओगे.
okay,
So, you know, we follow this rule of 80-20. So 80% should be your regular traditional khana, your ghar ka khana, and 20% can be deviations. So in that 20% can come things like samosa, chaat, vada pav, you know,
okay.
all the other kind of non-Indian cuisines that you want to eat. So what we tell our clients and all the students that we work with that once every week you should eat either a samosa or a vada pav or any fried item of your choice. Eat it the way you like it, have it deep fried, and a good time to have it is that evening window of 4 to 5 p.m. So having it every single day obviously is a problem. The problem is not the samosa. The problem is that you are messing up somewhere. You know, either you are skipping some meal or you're not sleeping properly if you want to eat it every single day. But you eat it once in a week, special occasions ke waqt, twice in a week, there is no problem to eat it at all.
Yes, so it's good to eat it in a limit, right?
Yes, yes, once every week eating a fried item is good. But eat it fried. फिर उसको air fry, उसके अंदर broccoli instead of aloo. ये सब, you know, if we do all these nakras, then it's a problem.
Yeah, ma'am, that's what I was gonna come next to. So you see a lot of air fryers around you nowadays. What are your
Yeah.
views on air fryers and do they actually help you reduce the amount of oil and actually improve your health?
Well, see, if you are an IITian who has designed an air fryer and now you're selling it as a business, then fantastic. But if you're a consumer, then don't buy air fryers. Okay.
Okay.
For us, it is best to have it deep fried. आप हफ्ते में एक बार या you know थोड़े time में like you're gonna have it just rarely. You should have it deep fried, fully loaded. तभी ही उसका मजा है. वरना there is no point. Okay. So yeah,
Definitely, ma'am.
stick to
Yeah.
it as deep fried only.
So, ma'am, there's this trend that I've been observing around myself, in my classmates, and even in my batchmates. So, we started viewing food purely from the lens of macronutrients, if I'm not wrong. Like,
Yeah.
we just tend to count the amount of carbs, the amount of fats, and the amount of proteins that we intake on a daily basis. And this is
Right.
especially prevalent among college students like me.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we often disregard the holistic value of traditional foods. Now, do you think that this calculative approach of eating is actually serving our health to the better, or do we need to rethink our fundamentals again?
Yeah, actually, we need to have a revamping of the way we are taught nutrition only. Because right from school, we are taught macros and micros. So that needs to change, first of all, because this whole thing of looking at food as carbohydrate, protein, fats, and calories. Akshat, today this has a term. It's called as nutritionism. Nutritionism,
Okay.
just like any ism, like racism, sexism, ageism, it's discriminatory. So,
Okay.
modern nutrition science is saying that we should not do nutritionism. It is not good for our health and for the health of our planet. So, dividing food into these categories of macros and micros is not the right way forward. We have to look at food in a wholesome manner. We have to look at food as food systems. That's why you have to eat food that is good for your individual health, that is good for your farmer, which is the local economy, and that is good for the environment, which is the global ecology. Eating local, seasonal, traditional does exactly that for you. Okay.
Okay.
So nutritionism nahi karna hai, and we have to eat as per food systems. The other latest guideline also is that you should not talk about food in just food groups, but you have to give food based dietary guidelines. So if you belong to a certain culture, you belong to a certain region, तो आपको उसके हिसाब से खाना है. Like for you right now, you're in Chennai, so you will eat food that is more easy for you, that is available for you there, that is easily accessible at your mess. For me
True.
in Mumbai, I will eat more things that grow here, that are local to me, that are easily accessible to me. So it's important to do that. अगर हम पूरा दुनिया, Boston से लेके Bangalore से लेके, all of us are going to just eat quinoa, and all of us are just going to eat oats, and all of us are just going to eat kiwi. We are going to fall short on food. Okay, we are a very
Yeah.
fast growing population. If we don't start eating as per our cultural preferences and food that is local to us, we are going to fall short on food, and we are
Makes
going to
sense. Yeah.
experience poor health. Yeah. So this whole nutritionism we should not do. But what the problem is that social media creates a lot of confusion, especially for the youth. क्योंकि क्या है ना, social media पे every other person is putting their transformation pictures, and every other person on social media is a health and fitness guru. तो आपको सब जगह से bombardment हो रहा है of what to eat, of what to need, not to eat, and what to count, and what to cut out, and कितना protein and all of that. So we have to work at not taking advice from social media. Okay, because just think about it. Any other advice, financial advice, education advice, we will always take it from a professional. But food ka advice हम लोग किधर से भी लेते हैं? We will
That's
take
so
it from
true.
social media. Yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah.
We just take it from, and every other person is ready to give us some or the other random food advice. So that we have to stop. So we have to not listen to social media. We have to not let that become our final word, and we should not do nutritionism. We should know that there is nothing cooler than ghar ka khana, and ghar ka khana has all the nutrients that you require for your growth, for your development, for your performance, for leading a good life, and for having the career that you want to. So nothing is better than ghar ka khana. It covers all the nutrients that one needs. We were at a conference in Manchester last year. Okay, this was an
Okay.
international sports and nutrition conference. So वहाँ पर ना it's like big, or like conference, not conference, but like big, like study rooms, like how you may have
Hmm.
at your institute. And then there is one big screen, and they were talking about protein, because of course जैसे students में protein का confusion है, athletes में protein का confusion और भी ज़्यादा है, right? Because they feel
Definitely.
like protein के बिना तो performance ही नहीं होगा. So then they were talking about some natural protein sources. And one of the things they spoke about was like, there was on the screen, there was dal chawal, and there was like beans and rice, because they were talking about India, Africa, and stuff like that. So they were
Okay.
saying that countries like ours have foods which are natural protein blends. Basically, they were talking about how dal and rice that we eat is a complete protein source. And once you eat something like that, you are not falling short on protein. तो इधर बैठ के अपने को क्या लगता है that our diet is not sufficient on protein. But this is at a conference in Manchester for athletes talking about having these natural combinations of food, which are complete
Hmm.
sources of amino acid, proteins, and many other vitamins and minerals.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's so
पर
insightful.
Yes, by the time it comes to us, थोड़ा और साल लगेगा. Because food और weight loss industry यही करता है. पहले fat was the villain for 40 years. Fat मत खाओ, तो we left ghee. Then fat became the hero. People started doing what is called as the so-called keto diet, right? High fat
Yeah.
and a lot of protein. Now people are going vegan, so already thoda protein is out of the window. Now people are not eating also because they're like, अच्छा लंबा लंबा घंटे का gaps करे. So basically पहले घी निकालो, फिर carbs निकालो, अभी खाना ही बंद कर दो. It's not going to work, okay? Finally,
Correct.
what works is घर का खाना. So let's not get confused and stick to the basics. It's very commonsensical. Ghar ka khana and eating food is like science. It has to be repeatable, it has to be reproducible. So you
Yeah.
have to follow a diet that you're able to do today, tomorrow, and for the rest of your life, and not something that you do just while you're in IIT. फिर जॉब चालू किया तो छूट गया और उसके बाद तो फिर पता नहीं क्या हो रहा है. ओके.
Yes, ma'am. Definitely, it's really concerning how much misinformation is being spread through these social media platforms and through marketing campaigns.
Yes, yes,
Uh,
and we have
um,
to be aware of that.
yeah, definitely, ma'am. And most of us here juggle with these, intense academics and extracurricular activities, which is a rising concern among college students. And because of this, we often need to pull up all-nighters, indulge into this
Right.
habit of late night snacking, eventually missing our breakfast and going to the classes empty stomach. Now,
Correct.
for students who genuinely need to stay up late at night for their commitments, what would be your advice as as a nutritionist?
Okay. See, the first and foremost thing that you must do is try not to stock up junk food in your rooms. Our That's the first thing that you should stay away from. So chocolates ho ya chips ho ya instant noodles ho, ये सब stock up ही मत करो, because if it is there, then you will eat it, right? If it's not there, you will not eat it. But what are the good options that you can have at night? You can have things like, you get chikkis or
Yeah.
like til ka chikki, peanut ka chikki, chana ka chikki. So chikki is a very good option for students. Banana is a very good option for late night snacking. If you come, whenever you come back now, for example, Diwali break hoga, so I guess you guys will get a chance to go back home, right? So
Yeah.
every time you go home and when you come back, you should get a stock of some home snacks. So another late night great homemade option is laddu. And we have in India a diversity of laddus, right? You get ragi
Yes.
laddu, you make besan laddu, you make atta laddu. It's just that we are waiting for laddus to get a name in English for it to be called some millet protein balls. फिर अपने को लगेगा, oh, this is very scientific and it's very cool, so I should eat. But laddus are extremely scientific and they're extremely good for health. With sugar, with dry fruits, with ghee, the way that it is made at home. वैसे वाला लड्डू खाना. Don't have the one with sugar free and with, a mix of random things. The traditionally made laddus. Then even things like muruku, things like mixtures, like chivda or just like a mixture. If you are very hungry, then even a cheese sandwich at night is an okay option. So
Okay.
these are some of the things that you can do. Chikki, banana, mango in the mango season, jackfruit in the jackfruit season, or then all of these home snacks like laddu, muruku, mixture, chivda. These are great options to have at night and keep away from instant noodles and all of those energy drinks like Red Bull, Cloud9, or whatever else that is there in the market now, aerated beverages. Keep away from all of those things, because what it does is all these foods are addictive in nature,
Yeah.
and anything that's addictive is going to play with your mind. Right now there is a lot of conversation happening in the West about labeling, how cigarette packets have that cigarette smoking is injurious to health. Like that, all these packaged junk foods should also have a label saying that junk food is injurious to health.
Okay.
Yes, because it is so bad for you that it can, besides just being addictive, it can lead to non-communicable diseases, even in the youth. Non-communicable diseases, things like fatty liver, things like diabetes, BP, up to early death, even cancer for that matter. So if you
Okay.
overdo junk food, it can take you up to non-communicable diseases. So you keep away from all those things, and all of our home snack options are good late night options as well.
Definitely, ma'am. Even I'm a big fan of dry fruit laddus. In fact,
Amazing.
my mom sends them with me when I come to campus.
How nice. Superb, superb. Another very important option that you can do for those who like milk, can have milkshakes like a banana milkshake or a mango milkshake, or even like your dry fruit laddu. If you're very hungry, you just put it in milk also and have it. It becomes a little more of a filling and wholesome meal. So that's also a very good option. Even things like lassi, buttermilk, dahi, those are also some good options that you can have. But यही problem है ना अक्षर, that we don't find it cool. हमको लगता है कि जब तक एक प्रोटीन बार का पैकेट नहीं खोलेंगे, या टिल वी डोंट ईट समथिंग व्हिच इज endorsed by your favorite cricketer or your favorite
Yeah,
actor, then it's not cool enough. But they endorse it because that's just their job. They are not having it themselves. That's their
yeah.
occupational hazard. So we have to use our common sense at all times and know that they are not eating that to look the way they're looking. They are eating very simple food to look the way that they're looking.
Yes, ma'am. And ma'am, nowadays there are many companies that sell packaged buttermilks, packaged lassis. Now, what are your views on those? Because they are technically selling local food, but that
Hmm.
is packaged.
Yeah. Everything that is packaged, whether it is local or whether it is not, everything that is packaged is best avoided.
Okay.
Because, yeah, the problem is that the packaging itself has preservatives and has things that allow it to increase the shelf life of what you're having, right? अभी अगर
Yes.
आप घर पे छाछ बनाओगे तो वो एक दिन से ज्यादा टिकेगा नहीं, वो खट्टा हो जाएगा, फिर उसको हम कढ़ी की तरह इस्तेमाल करते हैं. Actually our culture is very very sustainable, and
Yeah.
we are like, yeah, we are like zero wastage kind of people. But yeah, what I'm trying to say is that even if it's a local thing but packaged and sold to you, avoid that. We still have dairies, we have places where you can actually get fresh dahi and fresh buttermilk from. Your mess will have fresh buttermilk as well. And if it doesn't, then you should demand for it. See, sometimes they also don't know what students want. They feel like, "Arey, hum to ye sab late hai," but students don't have it, because students are also confused. So you demand for it, they will get the good stuff. But yes, avoid everything that is packaged. What you should remember is that Rujta ma'am always says this, कि जितना पैकेट खुलता है उतना पेट फूलता है. Okay, so
Okay.
stay away from packages, and everything that has an ad is bad.
That makes sense,
So
ma'am.
yeah, these are two mantras you should remember for life.
Sure. Ma'am, we've discussed how bad packaged food is for our health and how we should indulge into this habit of having local foods only. But the ground reality says that mess food is absolutely monotonous. I mean,
Yes.
me being a
Oh, I
college student,
understand.
we occasionally have this mood swing of, temptation of having something outside. Now, also with this rise of these quick commerce platform, getting your
Hmm.
favorite meals from your favorite restaurants in minutes feels so irresistible.
Yeah.
So I wanted to know your view on this of how much of eating outside is actually okay for your health and after what point it starts deteriorating your health.
Okay. Okay. So see, the first thing that I want to tell you is what I was talking about, the rule of 80-20. That 80% you eat mess food. Okay. So say in a week, out of 7 days, 5 days you are eating your mess food. 2 days in the week you can plan for food from outside or food from your favorite restaurant. Okay. Within that also, you should categorize. There are places where you get gourmet food, like a pasta, a well-made pizza, not something which is a fast food joint, not like a KFC, Domino's,
Okay.
McDonald kind of a thing. Okay, but something which is more gourmet where they will make it well and make it from scratch. So that can be one thing. Another category of food is your fun foods, like the vada pav and the samosa and stuff like that. And the third category of food is the ultra junk food, which is like all these fast food chains. Okay.
Yeah.
So in a week, you can have 20%, which is coming from one of like from these three categories. But the ultra junk should not happen more than once in 2 weeks for students. Okay.
Okay.
And but the gourmet and the fun category can come once every week. So वो
All right.
20% में आ जाता है, right? So you say every week you can eat once, you can eat a pizza or a pasta or a Chinese meal or whatever else that you want to eat, and once every week you can eat a samosa or a vada pav or anything of that type. Okay, and once
Okay.
every 2 weeks you can have something from the so-called junk category. That way, you are not getting very exhausted or getting taste fatigue from your mess food. But at the same time, you're not overdoing food from outside, which will, of course, cost you in many
Yeah.
ways, if you overdo it. So you have a fine balance. So the rule of 80/20 works very well for students. So you
Yeah.
should try to do that. All right. The other thing is that when you start eating, so your main meals will be your mess meals, right? Your breakfast,
Yeah.
lunch, and dinner will be your mess food. That's why eating in between also becomes important so that you are not getting taste fatigue from the mess food. Because I completely understand that it's not palatable most times and it's not, you know, as great. And I hope that we are able to get to a point where mess meals become very good to taste and are enjoyable. Just even the basic food should be enjoyable because you guys are already working so hard and you're using your brain, and the brain uses 16 times more calories than the muscle. So, we have to have adequate fuel. But what helps here is that the in between meals, okay, which you can plan for yourself by stocking some things from home, by buying things from the local market. So what I'm talking about is, if I can just quickly run you through how you can plan a day for all IITians. You wake up and you start your day with either some nuts, some dry fruit like some cashews or some dates, or just a fresh fruit like a banana, for example. Then you eat your breakfast. Then between breakfast and lunch, you should try to have maybe a fruit, or if you're able to get a coconut water or a nimbu sharbat or a buttermilk or something to drink that is hydrating enough. Then you do your mess lunch. Then after lunch, this window of 4 to 6 p.m. is very, very important because that is
Yeah.
the time when we crave maximum, right? That's the time
Yes.
when we feel like मेरे सामने जो भी आया, I will eat that. और अगर कुछ नहीं मिला तो जो भी आया, I will beat that person also. You've heard of hangry, angry because
Yeah.
you're hungry. Yeah. So a lot of hunger happens in this window. And for students, this window is super, super important. You should eat a good snack here. So this is where all your home options can be helpful, like a chivra or a mixture or a laddu. Or if you're outside, even a sandwich. This is a good time for that. But ये मील खाना बहुत जरूरी है, क्योंकि ये खाओगे ना तो फिर जो भी डिनर में बनेगा, you will not have a problem with it and you will not crave later in the night. But if you
Yeah.
skip this meal, then you're going to have trouble later in the night. Okay. And then you
Yes.
eat your dinner. And then if you're up till late in the night, I've already given you the option for late night snack. So
Definitely. Yeah.
actually, if you eat like this now, so you will make peace with the not so great mess food. You will be happy with 80/20, 80% mess food, 20% eating outside food. You will not have a problem with that. And you will not also have ultra junk food, and you will not crave for rubbish in the night. Okay. And
Sure,
one
ma'am.
last thing that I want to add here is that how do you guys have Zomato, Swiggy options? Do you all order
Yeah,
on
we do.
apps?
Yeah,
Okay.
we can.
And you can order. Oh, okay. So that's quite tricky, huh? So if you can order, मतलब कितना order होता होएगा दिन का? Does everyone order every single day?
Many of my friends, ma'am. Personally, me
Yeah.
also occasionally.
I can understand. I can understand. When something is just a click away, it is so easy,
Yeah.
right, to just get it. Okay. How many of you all stay together in,
Um, in hostel,
like,
particularly,
yeah,
we
in
are a group of
hostel?
6 people staying together.
Yeah. And all six of you have a Zomato or a Swiggy or
Yeah.
some of the other food app. Do you all have more than one app per person?
Yeah, we do.
My God. Okay. So first thing, you should do a little bit of digital cleaning, You should have just one app per person. And ideally, if you're six of you in a room, you should have, between the six of you, just two people should have the app. So that you are not, every single person is not constantly ordering. Of course, you share the bill, but then अगर सबके फोन पे एक से ज्यादा ऐप रहेगा, and six of you are living together and you have 12 apps in total minimum, I mean, how are you going to escape? It's so
That's
like,
so true. Yeah.
it's very difficult, and this is also very addictive. So you will have to be very, very practical and commonsensical about it. So today, the first thing you should do is you go back and you delete your two apps and make other people also delete, and only two people should have an app each
Definitely.
amongst the six of you, or three people, not more than that. Yeah, that's the way you can get fit
Yeah,
in a good way.
definitely, ma'am. So, ma'am, let's talk about gut health. I mean, this is a topic that's, gaining popularity nowadays. Basically, maybe from the influence from the West. Now, especially gut health, with its direct impact on your energy and overall well-being during the day. So for a college student juggling with academics, late night studies and irregular schedules, what would be your advice to maintain a proper gut?
See, actually, if you just work at eating local, seasonal, traditional, and you eat the way that I just asked you to from morning to evening, not keeping very big gaps, your gut will be good. ये क्या है ना that the industry needs to come up with some fancy name every now and then so that you feel like अरे ये तो मुझे समझ में नहीं आया इसका मतलब क्या है. Gut has become that hashtag. Gut has become a very big deal now. So we feel like, oh, have I never looked at this? Did I not ever do anything about it? Of course we did. The gut is one of the most important, the mouth to anus, basically, right? It is important in our body. So a few foods that work really well to ensure that your digestion is optimum, because a lot of college students have constipation, some of them have IBS that swings from between constipation to sometimes loose motion, especially exam ke aspas, submissions ke aspas. I think a lot of college students go through this spectrum. So a few foods that are important. One is a banana. You should eat a banana every single day because you may have heard of prebiotic, we've
Yeah.
heard that prebiotic is the food that is important for your gut bacteria and stuff like that. That prebiotic is basically something that banana is very, very rich in. So banana every day should be a part of your meal. The other thing that should be a part of your meal is dahi. And ideally, if because if you are six boys living together, you should be able to even learn to set your own dahi. If you get fresh milk, if you have just like you have those, what are they called, hot plates. If you have a hot plate, you warm up your milk, you take a little bit of culture from your mess, and you can actually set your own dahi.
Yeah.
And that is something that is a life skill worth learning and worth implementing. But dahi is the best probiotic in the world. Okay. So that
Okay.
will really help. And we know what is probiotic. We talk about probiotic supplements and we talk about probiotic products. Nobody's talking
Yeah.
about dahi, which is our OG probiotic, only because it is dahi and it is not yogurt. Okay, but now yogurt worldwide has become a very big deal. But dahi to hum pehle se hi khate aaye the. So dahi really helps to keep the mind shant and also keeps the stomach very, very shant, especially around exams. In our culture, we have practices like आप अगर घर से निकल रहे हो, especially when you must have given your JEE, you must have got dahi chini from your grandmother or from your mother
Yeah.
before you left from home, right? So that's the
Definitely.
practice that we follow. वो उसके लिए ही है, to settle the butterflies in your stomach because it is probiotic. Okay, so
Yeah.
dahi is something that you should have for good digestion. And the third thing that is very important for all IITians is rice. Because rice is nice, rice is very, very easy to digest, and rice is also prebiotic. Rice is also rich in what is called as BCAA, branch chain amino acids. You must have seen a lot of your colleagues or friends must be having BCAA supplements, but for muscle building and stuff like that. But अपने को rice के बारे में क्या लगता है? That rice is all carbs and rice is fattening and blah blah blah. But rice is also rich in BCAA, which is an amino acid that helps with
Okay.
muscle protein. So it also helps, and because it's prebiotic and it's easy to digest, it really helps with your digestion too. And the last thing that you should eat is ghee. So if your mess food doesn't have adequate ghee, all of you should have some ghee from your homes that you are able to either put on your rice and have, or that you can just mix with some jaggery and have it after your lunch or after your dinner. Just a teaspoon of ghee mixed with a teaspoon of jaggery after either lunch or dinner will help to set your gut right. So banana, dahi, rice and ghee. These are some foods that are very, very important for good digestion. And some
Right.
extra tips which you didn't ask for, but I'm going to give you is do not take your phone to the bathroom because we have become, you know, people who take our phones every single place, and taking the phone to the pot is the worst thing that you're doing to your gut. So if you care about your digestion, you cannot be on your phone while you are doing the big job. When you are passing motions, you have to only do that. You cannot be on the phone. Do not use your phone while you are eating food as well. So when you're eating your meals, there should be no screens. And at least half an hour before sleeping also, all screens should be shut. Then your body gets a chance to unwind and rest, and then your digestion is at its optimum. Varna, we will just become consumers of hashtag gut products. That's all. Nothing else is going to happen. हमारा pocket पतला होते जाएगा और हमारा पेट बड़ा होते जाएगा. That's all. Okay? So just do these few basic things and you will have good digestion.
That's really insightful, ma'am. In fact, it's
Thank you.
really concerning how the market is commercializing probiotics and these gut health-based products.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, so we'll have a quick rapid fire session. So I have these some of the claims related to nutrition. You just
Yeah.
respond to them by saying either it's a fact or it's a myth. Okay.
Okay.
So first one is pulling up all-nighters in the library and compensating for that on weekends by sleeping on weekends. Works.
Doesn't.
Doesn't. Okay. Fine. The second one is you have a quick coffee and then you have a 20-minute power nap, and that instantly increases your productivity.
Power nap, yes. Coffee, no.
Okay. So the third one is late night Maggies and burgers can significantly increase your weight.
Yes,
That's true.
absolutely. Yes. Anything that is junk, whether it is late in the night or in the day, can harm you.
Now the fourth one is my personal favorite. Now skipping dinner and having a protein shake instead can help you lose weight and build muscles.
Absolutely myth. Okay, but a good time to have a protein supplement is post workout, but eat a banana first and then have a whey protein supplement, or after dinner before sleeping at night. A whey protein in water or whey protein in milk, that's a good way to actually utilize that supplement if at all you want to have the supplement. But replacing it with dinner is a big mistake, because if there is no fuel in the body, then the protein is not going to be used for its own job of muscle repair and recovery. It's like तुम्हारे पास मर्सिडीज हो कि तुम्हारे पास मारुति 800 हो, अगर पेट्रोल नहीं है तो दोनों उतनी ही खटारा है. तो अगर फ्यूल नहीं है बॉडी में तो प्रोटीन का कोई फायदा नहीं है. सो ईट एंड देन हैव प्रोटीन शेक.
Definitely, ma'am. So it was great talking to you, ma'am. A huge thank you to
Okay.
Ms. Janal for sharing such enlightening insights and helping us all break these common myths related to nutrition, and also giving us a fresh perspective of making smart and practical food choices. To our
Thank you.
audience, this has been Shastra Echoes. If you are curious about the next domain to be busted, stay tuned, stay curious, and most importantly, keep exploring the wisdom that lies beyond the known. I'm Akshit, your host for today, signing off.